Hey, what's up, you guys? Alex here.
Larry.
And Alec.
And we're here to talk about something interesting.
Games.
Video games.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games.
My favorite.
Well, I mean, they're not everyone's favorite.
But before we get into what we think are what will be the best video game, we gotta talk about past Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games, right?
Like Legacy of the Duelist?
Duelist of the Roses.
Duelist of the Roses, Legacy,
World Championship?
World Championship,
Nightmare Troubadour.
Nightmare Troubadour.
Oh, you lost me with that one. I don't even know.
What about Dark Duelist Stories, though?
Oh, man, that's the OG.
And just like that, I'm out.
So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games traditionally have been separated in a few different camps. You've had crazier games like Duelist of the Roses, where they're strategy games, and Capsule Monsters Coliseum. There are the simulator games like I just forgot. You just said the name. Legacy of the Duelist. Yeah. Those games. We've even had a racing game
that we did play for you guys.
Racing game.
Wheelie Breakers.
It was.
Really, is on the Wii.
It was really fun.
Stop it. But so Yu-Gi-Oh! Has spanned a few different genres of games.
So you have to tell me about these more because I don't remember any of these games.
We'll get into it. Because a lot of these games are what inspire Alex and I in our favorite type of Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game.
Which are?
Well, I think my favorite...
Y'all did a twin thing.
We did.
But my favorite would be things like Duelist of the Roses, Capsule Monster Coliseum, to have a bit of a strategy element to them outside of normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Play.
So, but those games didn't play like Yu-Gi-Oh! At all.
I don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game.
Like,
what, you do?
I mean, do you play Final Fantasy? Saying I don't want to play a Final Fantasy game.
It's not the same thing, though.
But these games are called Yu-Gi-Oh! So I would think the perfect Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game would have, the cards.
Actual card game?
Well, I mean, going by what people like to play, I guess so. But me personally, I like things out of the box. And Capsule Monster is still Yu-Gi-Oh! They played Capsule Monsters in a whole show.
Did they have a Dungeon Dice Monster video game?
They did, actually.
They did.
It was on the Game Boy. It was sick. It was
sick as in good or sick?
Yeah, it was as in good. A lot of those Game Boy games are pretty good, and the Dungeon Dice Monsters game was no difference, though the music was terrible. Awful.
That's actually pretty common.
Dissonant sounds.
Who plays a game for the music?
I mean,
these days, if you play Persona 5...
We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sorry. But speaking of games that aren't Yu-Gi-Oh! That did it right...
What?
Duel Masters? The card game? Duel Masters had an excellent PS2 card game.
Did they?
Yes.
I do remember that because I remember the box art because it was all
shiny.
Yeah.
And I loved the RPG elements to that one. You had these characters that you could follow in the game, but the actual gameplay was them still playing the Duel Masters card game.
It was faithful to the game,
but it was 3D monsters.
So, Professor, how would you make a role-playing game but Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, I probably follow that model a bit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Games have been pretty bad at using any kind of RPG elements in them. You would need an overworld of some type, an actual character that can traverse different areas and talk to people.
I mean, give some of these players like the full anime skin, like create your own pro tag.
You could do that. I think that'd be a good idea. Create a character.
Create your own Duelist.
And then they can walk around. Well, you could set it in Duelist Kingdom. And you can actually, take your character around the island, find people to duel.
Real people or
the online version could be real people.
That could happen.
Hey, that could be kind of lit. The idea of an online Duelist Kingdom. That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be Duel Academy.
One. What you got?
Have any of y'all seen Ready Player One?
Yeah.
But Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's a lot.
But
you'd have your virtual deck. You just put your thing on. You just be in this virtual war. Hey. I don't like your face. Let's do it.
You just described Brains. That is literally how Brains works.
Dang. But we can agree that you can use some RPG elements. Mm-hmm. But what about new things? Because a video game has to bring something new to the table normally.
Like alternate game modes?
Outside of a simulator-based Yu-Gi-Oh!, do you think we could add something new like a deck leader mechanic, a destiny draw mechanic, character abilities?
I feel like...
Go ahead.
Those should be optional things in the game.
I feel like that's a lot.
Because when you make that the main part of the game, it is immediately not traditional Yu-Gi-Oh, and so you lose those people. The people who want to play the normal game, if they can't play that, then they're not going to get the game.
But on that note, if we're making a video game, you're not trying to just appeal to the base. You're trying to attract new people as well.
But that's why I mentioned alternate game modes.
I feel like I'm just caught in the middle. Like they do this all the time.
A little bit.
Come on, Larry. You have to have a thought on having to play. What if you had to use a deck master and it's no longer traditional Yu-Gi-Oh? How would that make you feel?
A deck master?
Like
I would have like so many deck masters. I'd have Creeper on this shoulder, Dark Magician over here, Exodia behind me.
So you'd be fine with this?
I feel like in the right context it could work. But what about the Yu-Gi-Oh purists? I want to have something where I know I can go and I can play and practice the game.
How about a competitive mode or something?
A competitive mode. You say competitive mode, but even just like I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't want to drive to the nearest card shop or.
It's basically a duel simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this game could do it all.
I mean, yes, I feel a good Yu-Gi-Oh game will have the traditional Yu-Gi-Oh game in it, and then we could have these alternate game modes, deck masters, I guess in all the other styles of games that we play, even speed duels, right?
So you have each format?
No, not each format, a new format. So I was thinking like in the Duel Masters game, they introduced a new format just for that game where the duels took place in real time, which was something totally different that wasn't done before that game came out.
Oh, those were wild. Those
if Yu-Gi-Oh could somehow make up its own new format just for that game that you can only play in certain modes, I think that could be amazing.
Wasn't that the kind of concept of like Tag Force?
I guess it was.
Yeah, go talking all this other stuff.
You know about Yu-Gi-Oh Tag Force?
Oh,
those are the ones that everyone loves.
That's right. They were on what? They were on the
Game Boy
PSP,
Advance.
I thought, right?
Wait, PSP. I'm sorry, yeah.
But we didn't get all the Tag Force games. They were pretty good.
What about a story mode?
You need a story mode.
Like, I don't want story mode as in like not retreading the anime stories, like
original story. Ooh,
mode.
That's dangerous.
But with like, what will it be like Yugi in them, or would it be my original character?
It'd be your original character going through, a predetermined story, but with your own deck.
See,
But who would we play against? Well, how would we balance it?
Computer, like the computer has his deck that he's gonna play against. So you just gotta beat it.
So like with all new cast, you're new. All the enemies are new.
Mm-hmm. You can give them like cards that already exist. You don't have to create brand new cards or anything.
You could do that, but I think it's dangerous because lots of games that aren't focused on their RPG elements can make a really lukewarm story mode that way.
Here's your example.
So Wheelie Breakers. No, not Wheelie Breakers.
Oh my gosh.
An example that I know.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
And I just like Larry don't know nothing. Shut up.
Do you remember the Yu-Gi-Oh one? It was set in 5Ds.
What, Dual Transer?
Dual Transer, yes. Dual Transer had what I thought was an annoyingly awful story mode, and the characters were bland.
I blocked it out. I don't even remember what Dual Transer was like. I just remember the name.
But yeah, I feel like it's better to do the Dragon Ball Z method.
Just play through
all of them. You tell that same
play
story.
Through the same story
every single
time. They will buy it. They will.
But they
proved
bought
it.
Xenoverse, and that was an original story.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they really wanted to play the old story again.
So, if I'm a consumer, how do you sell me a Yu-Gi-Oh video game?
Are you a Yu-Gi-Oh player?
Maybe. You don't know that.
I'm gonna put secret rare copies of very good cards in it, and then you have to buy it.
I mean, you're not wrong. Getting
Don't
free
you
stuff
miss that?
for buying a game was amazing.
That was great. I know they're doing that with the latest Legacy of Duelist, right?
Yeah, but it's like
Dakota
one of
tokens.
4 cards, and
Hey, that's
You're
fun.
gonna buy 4 copies of the.
No one's
Actually,
no one should
wait.
do that.
If you only get 1, you're gonna need 3 copies. It's a lot of copies of Legacy of Duelist.
There's no guarantee you get the ones that you want.
That's rude to the players.
I'm not
actually.
saying you gotta make a friend at GameStop.
I was gonna say I worked there seasonal part time. I'ma just
Hey,
that's what I want.
get them out, Larry.
But back to your
Like,
question.
got this one.
But back to your question. I think what would draw the most amount of Yu-Gi-Oh players at at its core would have to be
not Yu-Gi-Oh, both Yu-Gi-Oh players and non.
Yeah, you gotta get non-Yu-Gi-Oh players too.
Then it has to be like there has to be traditional Yu-Gi-Oh, just the game that we play, links and all. That has to be in the game if you
You
want.
lost a lot of people that links to.
I was gonna say that too.
But look, alternate modes. Maybe there's a legacy mode where you don't have to play with links. But I feel like that has to be in the game if you're gonna sell it, right?
It has to have the current master rule set. Otherwise, some people won't care for it.
Like, would you buy a Yu-Gi-Oh game that's like a visual novel? There's no Yu-Gi-Oh in it. It's just Yu-Gi telling a story.
I'm almost cursed. No, I would not.
Like, we have to play Yu-Gi-Oh, so that has to be in the game. I'm sorry, Capsule Monsters.
No. But I believe if you want to get the casual audience, you gotta put some flashy up there. You gotta put something that isn't a part of normal Yu-Gi-Oh so that it looks interesting. Because let's be honest, if Yu-Gi-Oh was interesting, people would be playing it already.
They
I feel
are.
like you talk a big game though, but I need an example.
My example is Duel Masters. It's Capsule Monster Coliseum.
Wait,
it's
wait,
card
wait,
game
wait.
based video games that I thought were amazing.
But Duel Masters was the game. It was the card game itself.
But it had mechanics that weren't in the normal game as well. Like I said, Destiny draw mechanics. You can get your specified favorite card all at once, summon it out for like no cost, and then turn the game on its head. It had a different type of format you could play in game that was exhilarating and high octane. It had great for its time graphics, in my opinion. Like it was
I feel like
really
he'd
colorful
rather
and
just
bright
replay
game.
this Duel
I was
Masters
just
game
sound like you
than
just
play
need to go buy
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Duel
I miss that
Masters.
game so much, and I've always
Y'all don't
wanted.
have a PS2, do you?
At home we do. Actually.
We have it back on.
What good is that here?
I know. But I've always wanted to see a Yu-Gi-Oh game do something at least close to that. But they never did.
Duel Links, that's fast.
Duel Links?
Duel Links is good. It wasn't exactly what I'm looking for, but it's good.
It's crazy we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games. We never brought up Duel Links, which is arguably the most popular one.
Yu-Gi-Oh game ever.
Is it? It's
Oh, it is.
pretty
Yeah.
popular. Like, it's its own environment.
So wait, it brought the casuals in. What did they like about it?
They didn't have to worry about links.
Oh, okay.
You have to worry about links. You have to play all your old cards in a setting that wasn't power crept.
Is simplified Yu-Gi-Oh what brings people in?
I mean,
Like I said, at the end of the day, I think people just want to play the game.
like that's why I say at the core, the game has to play Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's what people want to do,
And play-
they want to play the cards they want to play.
Play Yu-Gi-Oh in a way that.
But what
is
makes
easy.
but Legacy the Duelist does that? What's wrong with Legacy the Duelist then?
They didn't keep up with the cards.
They didn't keep up. So limited card pool, right?
I still play Legacy of the Duelist. Anybody out there can get it on Legacy of the Duelist. Comment your PlayStation.
Wait, but didn't they have like microtransactions?
They did, but they weren't so bad. They were just for some of the, like, if you want to play, get this Ignite deck, and it's the whole deck list, and then you just pay, I think $5, and you have the whole deck list. And you have
$5 for a deck in a game you already played 64. That's rough.
I didn't pay $64. I think when I got it, it was free for PlayStation Plus.
What if like all games, especially on Nintendo, they've been doing the whole free DLC thing because you already paid for the game. I think a perfect Yu-Gi-Oh game, it would have free DLC, right?
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, free DLC is not happening. Konami wants money.
I mean, that so long as they know that they can give you, here's $2. You know that deck that you love, or these good cards.
But we're not trying to do what's practical. It's about what's literal. Like,
Is it literal?
my bad, not literal. What's perfect? We're trying to do what's perfect here. What game would you rather play? A game where you gotta pay for more cards, or a game that the cards are free?
I mean, obviously you play
true.
the game where cards
But
are free,
I don't
but
think-
name a game you can play where everything's free.
Yeah, I mean that's not really gonna happen.
Yet, it hasn't happened.
Okay,
yet.
So long as there's money, there'll be the want for money.
Maybe what if they make money a different way? What about subscription?
I mean, that's
Subscription-based Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like, instead of having to pay the full price for the game, maybe it's at a reduced
we're
price.
already paying a subscription to pay online.
Like, well, yeah, that's true too. But
That's for most things. I mean, just think about YGO now. They really don't want us to have that.
they don't. But this can be by Konami with all the support we could ask for And maybe they charge
up-to-date cards.
Maybe they charge like
And
$5 a month, or maybe they like charge like a yearly, like $15 for a year.
Nah, that's way too cheap.
That is too cheap.
They charge at least $50.
I think we can all agree that there should be some optimization of the price of the game. If it's gonna be DLC, then it can't be totally free. There should be some price associated with it, and maybe lower the price of the game itself.
Okay. I feel like whoever's in charge will just charge like full for the game. You play the game a little bit. Oh, by the way, here's more stuff for $2 more.
So final thoughts. Everyone pick one point that you think is necessary for the perfect Yu-Gi-Oh game. Alex, you first.
Flashy. Presentation's everything to me.
Flashy.
Just flashy.
Just like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Lights.
It's got to look good. That's all that matters in the end.
You're so vain.
That's not even... Okay. Larry, what you got?
Playability. Yeah, it has be easy to jump in. Just be like, hey, I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's jump in. Let's play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay. And I guess mine would be, I want all the cards, and I don't want to have to pay an arm and leg for them. That's the perfect game.
So just a finger and a toe.
Like, or a fingernail, you know.
No, finger and a toe.
I think my point's most important.
But what's most important
What's
is what do y'all think?
Yes, let us know in the comments.
Also, by the way, who made this thing?
Inked Gaming. Well, you gotta show it to them.
wearing it.
Have this lovely
Team APS playmat. You can get it too.
And of course,
light skins on one side, darkies on the other.
Of course, use the code APS10 for 10% off your total purchase.
10%. That's like more than 9%.
That's a whole extra percent. And that's all we've got for you guys.
We'll see you in the next one.
Pass turn.